till now what we have taken. In some natural phenomena, we will be seeing at a glance. Now, what we have studied. First, what is matter? Then, what is matter made up of? The molecule. Then we studied about the atom and subatomic particles and properties of matter, that matter has mass and charge. Now in the subatomic particles, the three particles are positive, particles are protons, negative are electrons, and negative charged particles are neutrons. Then we compared this atom, atomic structure, how the protons and neutrons are placed in the nucleus at the center, as well as and the electrons revolving around the atom with the solar system. Then how this is related to magnetism. We know already magnets are having two poles, north and south. When north and north poles are coming together, they will repel. Whereas north and south poles are coming together, they will attract. So what we told, different poles are called as unlike poles. Unlike poles attract, like poles repel. Now what we have studied, how many charges are there here? Here same way, two charges. How magnet is having two poles, same way charges are of two types. One is positive and negative charges. Now next what we have studied, every object is electrically neutral. The meaning is how many electrons are present and protons are present in the atom, they are equal. Then what we have studied, how these can be charged by the process of friction. Friction, what it is producing? Heat energy. Then what is happening? Transfer of charges taking place. That process is known as electrification. Then what you will call those charged bodies? Electrified. When the electrified bodies are there, the charges are present on the bodies. Though such electricity, so that is the static, means the electrons or protons are on the body, they are at rest. So that is called as charges at rest. So static electricity. One kind of electricity we have discussed, that is static electricity. Now we have seen some experiments also. That is, I told, when you are going near a TV and waving your hand near the TV like this, and you will be getting goosebumps, that is hair will be attracted towards the TV screen. Same way, dry hair, when you are combing with a plastic comb, the hair afterwards curls and attracts towards the comb. Next, see, you people will be playing with the plastic scale. When you rub your hair with the plastic scale and keep near small bits of paper gets attracted towards. So in all these cases, you are rubbing two objects together. That rubbing together two objects against each other is called as friction. Because of this friction, heat energy is produced. This heat energy is working as to transfer the charges from one object to another object which are in the process. Then what happens? They are getting charges over them. Those charges will be at rest on the bodies, and this is called as charged body or electrified body. The process is like this, transferring of charges from one object to another object is known as electrification. And this, by electrification, whatever electricity produced is known as static electricity. Electricity produced due to the charges at rest and transfer of charges from one object to another object is known as static electricity. One example also we have studied, that is how your silencers giving smoke vehicles, what the electrostatic precipitators will be there, they will be absorbing the carbon particles basing on the same phenomena. So in magnetism, what we have studied, the same principle is applied in case of static electricity. That is, there you told, unlike poles attract and like poles repel. We will say here, unlike charges, that is positive and negative, attract repel. This is the principle of static electricity. What is the principle of static electricity? Unlike charges attract each other, like charges repel. Like charges means same kind of charges, that is positive, positive or negative, negative. These will repel each other. Unlike charges are different charges, that is positive, negative or negative, positive. These will attract, vice versa. These are called as unlike charges, opposite charges. Opposite charges will attract each other, whereas like charges repel. Now, what is the surest test? I am telling, whenever you are rubbing a balloon or any comb, then it is getting electrified and it is attracting small bits of paper or small fluff or some small hair, very lighter things like thread. It is attracting. Then balloon rubbing with your hair and keeping near the wall, it is attracting to the wall and it is attached. Then wall is, you are electrifying wall? No. So attraction you are seeing, if both are unlike charges, attraction is there. Then one is electrified, the other one is not electrified also, you are able to see the attraction property. So now, how can you say whether charges are present, whether static electricity is present or not? Only the surest test to identify whether a body is having charges or not is repulsion. What is the surest test for static electricity? Whether a body is charged or not. To know what is the surest test? Surest test is repulsion. Now we are going to see both attraction and repulsion with small experiment. And to know this, whether a body is having charges or not, on it you are using one instrument that is known as gold leaf electroscope. What it is? Gold leaf electroscope. Now, before going to this experiment detection of charges, for the surest test, we will be taking some more activities. Some activities like take 2 glass rods or 2 balloons or 2 ebonite rods. Ebonite is a material, resin is a material which is a plant exudate. That is from plant it will be produced. Whenever amber, these are all from plant products, whenever you are taking 2 glass rods or 2 balloons or 2 ebonite rods and rubbing with the silk cloth and bringing near them, what will happen? Because both are rubbed with silk cloth, they attain same charges. Like glass rod attains positive because it loses electron, positive, and silk cloth, this is our convention I told, silk cloth, negative. So now you have taken 2 glass rods and rubbing with the silk. 2 glass rods, when you are bringing here, they will repel because they are like charges. Now you do one thing, take 1 glass rod and another one ebonite rod and rub with the one silk cloth and with one woolen and bring them near, they will attract. Otherwise 2 glass rods, one with the silk cloth, the other one with woolen. One with woolen cloth. So when you are rubbing one with the silk cloth, another one with woolen cloth, now bring the 2 glass rod, different charges will be there or not, you check it. This is for you, the experiment to do. Then suppose you have taken one is glass rod, another one is ebonite rod, one is you are rubbing with silk cloth, another one woolen cloth, and bring them, they will attract each other. So like charges repel and like charges attract. Same way, both 2 balloons you take. This is simple activity, you can One you rub with your hair or dry hair, or one with silk cloth. Don't rub too much. If heat energy, because of friction, heat energy is more, balloon will be blasted out. So inflate the two balloons, one rub with silk cloth, another one with your woolen sweater, and bring them near, they will attract. Whereas two balloons rub with silk cloth only, bring them near, they will repel each other. So by these activities we can say that like charges repel each other, unlike charges attract each other. Basing on this principle, the static electricity is working. Now, which is the surest test? I told repulsion is the surest test. Why? Why? Because even though when a body is charged, if another body is not charged, this property we can see, that is attraction. When two bodies are charged and they are of unlike charges also, attraction is seen. So this is not the surest test. Whether the bodies both are charged or not, we don't know. If both are charged, if they are unlike charges, attraction is there. If both are, one is charged, another one is not charged, attraction is there. So this is not the surest test. Repulsion, both will be charged and both will contain same charges. So then only repulsion will take place. Otherwise repulsion won't take place. So repulsion is the surest test for detecting the charges. Now this, to detect whether the body is having charges or not, we will be using gold leaf electroscope. Now we will be discussing about three methods of electrification. One, we have discussed the friction method, frictional method. That is by rubbing two objects against each other, you can electrify the objects. Next thing is by conduction. That means rubbing one of the things continuously and touching with the other one, whatever it is gaining, the electrons will be passing into the other body. Simple example is, you are wearing sweater so much time in winter season, your heat, thermal energy won't be going out. It protects from the cold. So it will be hot. Whenever you are removing the sweater only, the crackling sound will be. That means your body is getting discharged, that electrons to the sweater. Now this is by conduction. That means by directly touching with the body, the electrified body, when you are passing charges from one body to another body, that is called as conduction. Another process is induction. So three methods. What are the three methods? Three methods of electrification. One is friction. Second one is conduction. Conduction is nothing but conducting. Conductor, which allows to flow the charges through it. And this will be when you are touching other body, the charged body with another body which is not charged, whatever this conductor is possessing charges, that will flow into the other body. This is conduction process. Next is induction. In this induction, the difference is between conduction and induction, you won't touch it. Just bringing near it only, the charges will be flowing into the other body. This is induction. So these are the three methods of electrification. One is friction, second one is conduction, third one is induction process. Yes. Now, coming to the gold leaf electroscope. Before going to that process, we will be seeing some experiment here. Gold leaf electroscope, what it contains, and I will be showing that induction process and by friction process, how you are getting the charges attracted unlike bodies charges, and what will happen in case of gold leaf electroscope. So now you see, this is a plastic small bowl and this is the woolen cloth. In this just I kept some bits of paper lighter, and this is the ebonite rod. This is called as gold leaf electroscope. See, a gold leaf electroscope, how this construction will be seen. Now, I am rubbing this ebonite rod with this woolen one. Then see, when I am rubbing, this process is friction. Heat is produced. Now I am placing small bits of paper on the table. Now which I am electrifying? Only this ebonite rod. Now paper bits are electrified? No. So now what is happening? You will be observing when I am placing this here. See, the paper bits are attracting. So do sometimes frictional method, how you are. See, attraction is even though another object is not electrified also, it gets attracted. Now only ebonite rod I am doing by friction. See, rubbing with woolen cloth and I am placing near paper bits. See, they are attracted. They are attracting and going, moving here and there. See, once again you observe carefully. Attracting with each other. Now this experiment you will be doing with your scale also, rubbing to the air and placing here. See, flying and attracting. Now with a gold leaf electroscope, whenever you are coming to this is whether this is charged or not. Why this attraction is coming? Whether this is charged or not. To test it, whether a body is charged or not, you will be using a gold leaf electroscope. This gold leaf electroscope contains what? A wooden box with glass mounted. Inside with one rod, you are one metallic rod is there. This is the metallic knob fixed on the top of this box, and to this rod two gold leaves, thin gold foils, or this is called as gold leaves, are attached. Now whenever you are rubbing and placing the leaves will be repelled with each other, because when you are rubbing with this, the opposite charge will be induced. This is metal. No, metals are good conductors of electricity that you have learned in 6th class only, which allows to flow electrons. Charges through them are called as conductors. Which does not allow, those are insulators. Now again I am rubbing. Literally I won't touch it, but also you see, observe carefully what happens to the gold leaves. Always these will be, because repulsion is the surest test. When you are rubbing like this is gaining some charge and woolen cloth is some other. So ebonite rod is positive, suppose woolen cloth is positive and ebonite rod is negative. Convention anyway. So whenever it is gaining, these you are charging, but gold leaves and all, this is you are rubbing or anything, nothing. So now when you are placing, what happens through the rod, the charges are passed and they will gain opposite to charge whatever you are placing. So that what will happen, those two charges, those two gold leaves will be repel with each other. Now I won't touch the knob, only I will be placing here. See carefully, they repel. Leaves will be, because both will be gaining. This is repulsion is the surest test to prove that, as well as to detect whether this body object is having charges or not. You will be using this gold leaf electroscope. Just this process is known as induction method. So what we have learned today, once again we will be seeing the basic principle of static electricity. What is static electricity? Static electricity is nothing but the electricity produced basing when the charges are at rest. How the charges will be at rest? Whenever you are rubbing two things against each other, what is occurring? Transfer of charges takes place. This process is known as electrification. So the charges will be transferred from one body to another body, which is having more number of positive charges, that is called as positively charged body, which is having more number of negative charges, that is called as negatively charged body. Whenever they are getting charges, they are called as electrified bodies or charged bodies. When they are having charges over them, they will show the property of attraction and repulsion. So, attraction property, when the charges are of different kind, they will be attracting each other. When the charges are same, then it is called as repulsion. So, repulsion is the surest test whether the body is electrified or not. Why we are saying some activities I told. Take 2 glass rod, take them and rub with the silk cloth and bring near them, they will repel. Why? Because both are silk cloth only. So both will gain unlike charges only. Same way, you rub one of the balloon and keep near the wall, it will be getting attracted. Wall is not electrified. Only balloon is electrified. So attraction, you see, if they both are containing different charges, they will attract. But here in this case, they are repelling. Suppose glass rod and one ebonite rod, one silk cloth, woolen cloth, you are rubbing and bringing near them, they will attract. So attraction in two cases. One is electrified and another one not electrified. You can see attraction. One is rubbing with silk cloth, one is with woolen cloth, 2 glass rod you bring, they will attract because they are possessing unlike charges. With different things you are rubbing and electrifying them. Then when this case repulsion is when they are both are having same charges, then only repulsion process occurs. So to detect whether the body is electrified or not, repulsion is the surest test. And how you will detect? By using an instrument known as gold leaf electroscope. So small experiments we have done, and this gold leaf electroscope is nothing but a box like structure which is mounted with the glass to see inside, and one rod to this end we will be fixing 2 gold coils which are known as gold leaves. You can term them also gold leaves, and above that this will be fixed to a metallic. This rod is fixed to a metallic knob, so that induction process. By the induction process you are doing here. This was actually made by Abraham Bennett. Who discovered this instrument? Who made it? Abraham Bennett. Understood? Now what is the basic principle of, now from this what is the basic principle of static electricity we can conclude? Unlike charges attract each other, like charges repel. And how many ways of electrification is there? 3. One is friction, second one is conduction, third one is induction. I am rubbing this ebonite rod with the woolen cloth and I will place near bits of paper. What will happen? You see. Now these bits of paper are attracting. See, they are flying and attracting with the ebonite rod. Again I am repeating the experiment. Again I am rubbing the ebonite rod with the woolen cloth and placing near the, see how they are flying and attracting. Have you observed? Is it clear, children? Yes. Now already we discussed that this gold leaf electroscope will be having 2 gold leaves and they will be repelling with each other. Now they are very close to each other. This is without touching. I am see how these leaves are repelled. See how these are repelled. This is known as induction method of, because whatever charges this is gained when I am rubbing with the woolen cloth, the opposite charges will be induced, but both the gold leaves will have same charges. That is why repelling. So repulsion is the surest test. Have you understood, children?